Hello, third grade, and welcome to lesson 4-5. Today, we're going to look at patterns that we find in multiplication, specifically patterns with even numbers and odd numbers. Let's go ahead and watch our short video, and then we'll get into our notes.
How can you explain multiplication patterns for even and odd numbers? Think about this question during the lesson. Nita says that the product of an even number and an odd number is always even. Is she correct? Even numbers are whole numbers that can be divided by 2 with none left over. Odd numbers are whole numbers that cannot be divided by 2 with none left over. What do you notice about the digits in the numbers from row to row? How can this help you understand even and odd numbers? From row to row, the ones digits stay the same, but the tens digits increase by 1. It is a pattern, so you know that all numbers with 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0 in the ones place are even, and all other numbers are odd.
Even numbers have 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 in the ones place.
Even numbers greater than 0 can be shown as two equal groups. Think about 2 times 3 and 2 times 5. 2 is an even number. 2 times 3 means 2 equal groups of 3. 2 times 5 means 2 equal groups of 5. There are always 2 equal groups, so the product of 2 times any number is even. You can generalize. All even numbers are multiples of 2. Think about 4 times 3. You can think of 4 as two groups of 2. Using properties, which is another way to write 4 times 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3.
Select your answer.
Using properties, you can write 4 times 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3 as 4 times 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3. So, 4 times 3 equals 2 times 6. There are two equal groups of 6, so the product will be even. You can write any even number as two equal groups. So Nita is correct. Even times odd equals even. Now you know how you can explain multiplication patterns for even and odd numbers.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our notes. So I'm going to stop sharing this for a moment, and we're going to go over our notes for this lesson. So again, we have our lesson title up at the top: multiplication patterns, even and odd numbers. Now, words that we need to know. We need to know what even means. Even means you can take the whole number and split it into two equal groups and not have any extra left over. Odd numbers cannot be split into two equal groups. So think about if you have the number 5. So I'm going to get 5 of my pens. Can I make two groups that have the same amount in each group with 5? I'll put one here and one there. And then I'll add another one here and another one there. But I still have one left over. Now I can't put it in either one of the groups because then my groups won't be equal anymore. So these 5 is not an even number. I cannot use that one because it doesn't divide by 2. Odd numbers cannot be divided by 2. So 5 is an odd number. Now, an interesting thing to pay attention to is that even numbers all have a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0 in the ones place. So if you're looking at a hundreds chart, any number that has a 2 in the ones place, a 4, a 6, an 8, or a 0 are all able to be divided into 2 equal groups. So those are all even numbers. Now we can generalize and say that all even numbers can be divided by 2. So that also means that all even numbers are multiples of 2. They're 2 times something. So when we have an even number times an even number, we're going to have an even product. So for example, 2 times 4 is equal to 8. 8 is an even number because I can divide 8 into 2 equal groups, and I know I'll have 4 in each group. An even number times an odd number will still give you an even product. So 4 times 3 is equal to 12. We know that 4 can be rewritten as 2 times 2, right? So 2 times 2 times 3 is equal to 12, just like in the example we saw. And for the last one, if you have an odd number times an odd number, then you will get an odd product. For example, 9 times 7 is equal to 63. 63, if we look at that ones place, it's not a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, so this is an odd number. So just by looking at the factors that you're going to multiply, you can figure out if your answer is going to be an even answer or if it's going to be an odd answer. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our guided practice. Question number 1 says, if you multiply 2 even numbers, will the product be even or odd? Explain with an example. So let's grab our pen and we're going to start writing. I know that even numbers can be divided into 2 equal groups. So even times even will equal an even product. So even times even equals even. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So since they're both numbers that can be split into 2 equal groups, I know that my product is also going to be able to be split into 2 equal groups. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says write or circle to complete the sentences, then solve. So we need to figure out 4 times 6 is equal to something. Now the first part says, can 4 be divided by 2? And then it says, can 6 be divided by 2? And then it says, so 4 times 6 is, and you have to decide, even or odd, and then you need to solve. So can 4 be divided by 2? Can you take 4 and split it into 2 equal groups? We know the answer here is yes. Can 6 be divided by 2? Yes, I can make 2 groups of 3 will equal 6. My answer over here is also yes. So that means 4 times 6 is even. And 4 times 6, we know from our multiplication facts, is equal to 24. So you use the information that you learned. You use the facts that you know, your multiplication facts, to be able to find your product everything that you learned about even and odd numbers, and the patterns that you find in even numbers, what you get when you multiply them by each other. And all of those pieces of information came together to help you find the solution to these problems. So you're going to go ahead and work on your independent practice to be able to figure out even and odd and justify your answers. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.